Welcome, Hearthstoners, to another exciting episode of Jester vs. Season 6. I'm playing Grommash Meta Control. This is one in a series of videos that are available to be seen on hearthpwn.com under the Dex Guide Grommash Meta Control. You can also find them on my YouTube videos. We're queuing up for another ranked session. I believe I'm ranked 10 at this point after, I don't know, a dozen games maybe. Let's see here. I did take a loss to Shaman. And here we are against a mirror match, it looks like. It's Grommash. We drew a Fiery War Axe, which is always great to keep. These other three really won't do us much good. I was contemplating keeping that Shield Slam right there. But against the mirror, you really don't want your removal until later. What an excellent draw. Armorsmith Acolyte. Karn is one of the legends that warriors have a hard time dealing with early on. So we coin out our Armorsmith because it's a very common first play for warrior. It sets board presence as well as provides a little bit of pressure and gets you immediate value as they try to remove her, if they can remove her. There's a War Axe. So our Armorsmith was already a 1/1 minion for 2 that gained us a point of effective life and took a durability away from a weapon. That's pretty good value already. Gonna go to the face. Now she's also done a point of damage. She's definitely gotten her worth after second turn only. Now you usually don't want to go to the face against a warrior early on in a mirror match, but if they're building up armor, see, warriors only have 4 forms of removal. They have the 2 executes and the 2 shield slams. And if you can take away that armor, then what you're effectively doing is limiting them to 2 forms of removal, at least 2 effective forms. So you want to keep that armor as low as possible. And the fact that we drew a second Fiery War Axe doesn't make it very difficult to do so. The armor's up. We drop another Acolyte. And lower his armor count again. Now we do have Alex in the deck, so we're really not attacking him to attempt to lower his life total. Again, what we're doing is trying to keep that armor count lower. And at this point it's inexistent. Alright, more removal. And it's about time we brought out a threat. Now we apply pressure to the face, because since it's a mirror matchup, it's very possible that this warrior is running Harrison Jones. And you really don't want to have a 2 durability weapon out there. Whenever you cast a weapon, you're going to want to use it right away to get around the massive amount of value that your opponent can get from their Harrison. Now we have card advantage. We have pretty much an even board. We're about to have a completely even board. We have health advantage. We have the turn initiative. And now we have board advantage by dropping Loatheb, all on an opponent who does not have any armor to do anything about it anyway. So just a efficient and effective early play in the mirror match is what you're looking for in order to secure the win. It does look very much like a mirror match. He's got a Sludge Belcher there. I haven't seen Cruel Taskmaster yet from him, but all the cards that he has shown are staples in the Grommash Meta Control build. I haven't seen anything strange yet. He hasn't casted a Slam or a Korkron or anything like the previous warrior that we fought displayed. Warrior on warrior commonly goes to fatigue, and in that being the case, your cards like Wysara are going to become absolute powerhouses in the end game. Now, if you can end it before fatigue, of course, do so, but you're not going to go out of your way or expend yourself trying to end the game before fatigue because you have cards in the deck like Wysara. It allows you to play more patient, more control, more or less mistakes, I should say. It also sets you up for less surprises because when you're doing things like going to the face, you're not accounting as much for things like a Grommash Taskmaster to the face and things like that that your opponent can spring on you out of nowhere. So if you're playing more control mindset, which having Wysara in the deck allows you to do, then you're more apt to get to that end game where she can provide a big bonus. Ah, it's Geddon. This could just be a version of Trump's Geddon and Friends as well. In fact, that's probably what this is Geddon and Friends, because I haven't seen a Taskmaster yet, but I have seen everything else that's a member of the deck. I find Geddon and Friends to be slightly inferior because it doesn't run Taskmaster, first of all. Taskmaster is an absolute staple. It glues together so many of your synergies in the early game that it makes, as you saw, my health and my armor and my card advantage compared to his at that point was far superior. Okay, he drops the Sylvanas. This is not very good because this means that we're going to end up losing the Death Rattle Timing Wars. Since mine hit the board first, my rattle would go off first. I'd take a creature from him. And then his rattle would go off and he'd take it right back. This also means we don't want to lay a minion, but he's pretty much safe to do so. It's one of the drawbacks to dropping Sylvanas on an open board, is that you can end up with the opposing Sylvanas response. But at the same time, there's a good side to dropping Sylvanas on an open board against warrior control, and that's that most of their minions are big strong legendaries. So if I drop a Sylvanas and he drops a big strong legendary, my Sylvanas is then ready to attack into that legendary and potentially take it. I don't want to drop that Ghoul. I don't want to drop Karn. Because again, a trading of Sylvanases will end up with him taking my creature. But by attacking with my Sylvanas, I'm showing him that I don't care, I'm going to the face. He's going to have to trade them, and he does. There's another Belcher. There's an Armorsmith. An Acolyte. He's meaning business. Now let's see here. Brawl is a worthwhile play. 3, 4, 5, and 5 is 10. Yeah, it's an even play at this point. Even if he ends up with the Sludge Belcher left over, which he did not, Brawl would have gotten value. We'll give him another card too. So he just wasted 3 cards to my 2, which again is efficient early play. And as far as health is concerned, again, I'm way ahead of the curve. Card counts. If it comes down to fatigue, we're very close in deck size at the moment. You also want to be aware of what your opponent can do at any given turn. Like right now, he's capable of a Grommash Cruel Taskmaster combo. But not that that's a threat to us at this point, but he's capable of doing it. He's also capable of dropping Alex and making it a 15-10 game. Or, well, there you go. There's a Ragnaros. And he ruins my armor. That's okay, we don't have any more shield slams. We'll execute Rag, bring out a threat of our own, and demand a response from him. Armor up, pass the turn. He's not looking too healthy there. He's going to have to play his Alex soon, if he has it. When you're up against the mirror, you always want to assume that your opponent has Alex in the deck, but at the same time, you can play as though you don't and hope to trick a lesser, I don't want to say less informed, I want to say a player with less forethought. They might be setting up for an Alex or something of that nature, and you're still applying pressure to them. Or they might be holding a big game hunter or something of that nature. And as long as you just keep applying pressure with minions like Karn and Sylvanas and things like that, you could just beat them down to death and never see Alex. And there she is. He uses his Alex on himself, which means that we are currently the beatdown. Well, let's control that Alex. Our final shield slam. Send Karn on in to get his life total back down to mortal. Now if he's been counting, he knows that I've spent both of my executes and both of my shield slams, and that his legends at this point should be pretty much free to cast, because Sylvanas has also been seen and dispersed. Korkron. Okay, this is neither Baron and Friends nor Grommash control, unless he's just using Korkron as a replacement for a legend he doesn't have. And if that's the case, that's great, because this deck has all of the legends necessary in it. So we have an innate advantage. Is dropping Alex right here? No. In fact, what we're hoping is that this game can end without Alex ever seeing the table. We're also going to keep her in hand in case we go into fatigue and he dual shield blocks or something of that nature. I don't recall if I saw a shield block from him this game. And he executes the Baron. I believe that at this point I don't have to worry about his removal any further. Which is a big deal, because that means if I do use Alex offensively at this point, she's a pretty strong presence. So let's go ahead and give him 4 life. And I don't believe he has an answer. I think he's used both executes and both shield slams. A regular slam won't do him any good. A regular slam very rarely does anybody any good. he'd pretty much have to slam a Garrosh or a Grommash into Wysara, or I'm sorry, Alex, and then hit her with an axe and take 8 to the face anyway. Which looks to be what he's trying to do. That's okay. If he does do something like that, his Grommash will be at 1 health, and our Taskmaster becomes removal at that point. There he goes. He attacks into Alex. Tries to survive a 10-1 Grommash. No, I'm sorry. That looks more like a 12-0 to me. Oh, I've got 2 Taskmasters. Yeah, he's definitely dead. When your Taskmaster becomes a removal, you really start to see the true versatility in the card. Armor up again, pass the turn. Another shield block. That's okay, he's digging through his deck. He's building up armor that we're going to remove. Loatheb is nothing to us now that we've gotten rid of both of our executes and shield slams. I think it's time for a rag. Yeah. We're going to drop Ragnaros, armor up. Take away some of that armor of his. And see if it kills. Yes, it does. His Loatheb goes to the graveyard. Now he's running very, very low on cards. I've got a couple more than he does, but all of the cards left in my deck are threats, except for the Armor Smith. Plays Harrison onto an empty board, as far as weapons are concerned, and then he brawls. I disagree with this move. He tried to use Harrison as a better chance that the Ragnaros would not survive, and this goes completely against all the rules of how to play Brawl. That being said, this was a good game. Have a good one, buddy. And thank you for watching. This has been Grommash Meta Control versus the Mirror.